episode 2 of the Hemi swap. Today, we're going to try to put in the battery box kit and try to clean up the wires going around the exhaust manifold, get them kind of tied back in. We're also going to try to hook up the 8-speed wiring harness and mount the shifter inside the Jeep. So I will go ahead and put you on time lapse. I'm going to clean up this little area right here and start putting the battery box in for the Hemi swap. I did buy a battery box kit from Jeep Speed Shop, and it looks like it bolts pretty well in the same exact position. My recommendation to you is, like I said, clean up that area, make sure your wires are routed the way that you want them routed prior to installing the battery box. But everything looks good. Also, your power steering lines will run over there. I'm probably gonna pull that out, and we got the new power steering pump on order, as well as we got the new dipstick tube in. We're gonna try to put it in today as well. So time lapse, and we're gonna start. Okay guys, so I have the battery box kind of halfway mounted. There's slotted holes in the back. The wiring harnesses were holding me out, so you got to move those to the front side. I don't really like that because it kind of makes for an unclean look, but it mounts in the same mounting brackets, which I like, but it just, I don't know. Like I said, and it looks pretty good, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the way you can see the wiring harnesses now right there, and then, you know, you put, and maybe I mounted that wrong. Maybe the wiring harnesses are supposed to go under. All right, guys, sorry I cut that little previous one. I went on a vent, but here's the reality is there's no instructions that come with this. I know it's probably pretty well plain, and it is. However, it would just be nice to have a little something additional to the videos that are on Jeep Speed Shop's page. Be prepared. You can reuse some hardware, but just be prepared to buy some hardware. Okay, so I have the Airbox mounted. I do wish, like, Todd and them over at Jeep Speed Shop would, I mean, I painted it, you know, and I wish they did have a option to have it powder coated when it come in. Raw steel's okay, you know, but I don't know, I get in a rush, man. Another thing that I should have done on this, and I probably will do in the future, is with the battery box, instead of having nuts and stuff, they make this fitting that will just pretty much, I don't know what the word would be, but it like crimps in the metal. You can buy a kit. I've got the kit. I should have done that and then just threaded these new bolts in it, and it would have been a lot faster going together. It fits all pretty good. I think the alignment, once that's all together, is going to be okay. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at now. It's not bad. it could definitely be worse. But I think that's why some people mock up their own setup here. The tolerances are going to be tight. So we're going to check on a couple things here. I'm going to put the dipstick tube in and we'll be back. All right, now we're going to go ahead and get started on the inside. So I'm going to pull this panel off. It's pretty simple. Pull them off. You just got to give them a good jerk. They come off there. Pull this panel off. Take the gear shift out, and then I'll slow the video down and try to explain step by step. But like I said, just pull these off and then pull this out, and I think it just pops right out there if I'm not mistaken. I've had these off in time past. And then we'll get started on the interior part and try to give you all as much information as I can installing the 8-speed shifter. All right, guys, so I mean that was pretty well the install of just the base. Look, it's just one bracket, 4 bolts, pull the old one out with some, coarse cabling and that sort of stuff, and 4 bolts, well, really technically 8 bolts with the new one. Very, very simple as far as the bolt up procedure goes. You will have to remove that top plate of the center console, top plastic, and then it's good to loosen up the bottom. You don't have to take it out, but it would help you if you did loosen that up. So, pretty simple. All right, so I'm working on the shifter right now. There's the dirty boot for the shifter. So here's your factory JK. I need to clean that up. Here's your factory JK little piece. So my thought process is, see, that goes in there like that. So my thought process is hot glue this piece in there once I get this clean, and it'll look like that, which would look pretty good, but I gotta hot glue that in. I need more hands. So that's my thought on that, and hopefully it will work. These little tabs is bent. I think it will work though. I think it's gonna look quite nice. I think it's gonna work just fine. I'll get like a corner hot glued in and then position it where I want, put another dab, like welding, Hopefully the hot glue will work. Let's try it. Let's put us in a little corner. I told my wife I really needed more hot glue than this, but she said, that's all I got. I was like, great. So I might have to make another trip to the store. If I get this in there like I want, it shouldn't be that big a deal. Yeah, that freaking didn't work. Great. Did not work at all. Okay, that hot glue did not, I didn't jive. Attempt number 1 failed. Attempt number 1, I repeat, has failed. Get my little headlamp on. Y'all probably can't see what I'm doing. Attempt number 2. Be still. Dang you, devil. Well, this is kind of aggravating. It sounded like a really good idea in the beginning. It is not working well. The hot glue I thought would really work good. I guess I ain't being patient enough. What do you think? Well, I can assure you that I am going to have extra hot glue because I am just about out. Of the hot glue, my friends. Okay. Shouldn't move. All right, we need to move you over just a touch. That's where I want it. Okay. Well, let's see if that's where I want it. I mean, I'll go like that. Yeah, that's really where I want it. That's gonna look good. Now, I need more glue. So that's where we're at right now. Kind of see what's going on in there. I'm gonna glue all around that. Should hold. Maybe some 2-part epoxy would work better. I may just order some of that. The hot glue would kind of get it to stick originally, but the 2-part epoxy would be harder and it would probably last on the long haul. I don't know though. 2-part epoxy works pretty good, or hot glue works pretty good a lot of times. So, well, let's see what that does. All right, now I'm gonna go over here and kind of get the wire run. I'm not going to do all my wire tapping today because I've got to do some of this. Yeah. So this, I need to, actually before I mount too much more, I need to mount this little devil. This little, the little transmission controller. think you just put these in with a couple self-tappers, if I'm not mistaken. Pull this to test, yeah, I think that's all that is. Little self-tappers, I think. I'm pretty sure that's all that is. Yeah, that looks to be correct. Put these in with some self-tappers and you mount it. Actually, no. Oh, okay. Okay, no, never mind. Yeah, definitely self-tappers. There's a bolt. Yeah. So, see that? Where that mounts? You put a couple self-tappers in, and then actually you'll take that little there and put, well, no, that ain't gonna work either. That's just gonna line up there, put you some self-tappers there, but before we put this in, we probably need to run the wiring harness to the new shifter. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I feel like it's cockeyed just a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I just mounted exactly the way Cheap Speed Shop says, and it looks not quite right to me. That back corner piece right there, see that? It don't sit right. It needs to be that way some, so hopefully it works. We will find out here in just a second. I'll set the one piece back on there and we'll call it and see what happens. Okay, let's try. All right, guys. Now what we have to do, we have to get in here to this wiring, okay? So you got a few wires that's hanging out that comes from this harness over here, okay? You'll have to stuff some of this in there, okay? So the main ones you want to focus on, there'll be like 3 wires outside of a loom. Looks like this. That's 12-volt battery. That goes to, you need to splice into that and run straight through the firewall to the TIP'em lead. Okay, that's 12 volts all time. This is switched wire or key switch. We'll talk about that in a second. And then your ground, okay? And then you have, you can also pull this over here. This is your OBD2 port for your transmission controller. Okay, and then lastly you have these 2 wires, which are CAN. Pull them out because we don't have enough wire for that. And they're a twisted pair, and this is because of interference, so you need to try to keep them twisted as much as possible. Now where to tie all this into is you have these wires right here and these right here. So what we're going to do is first we're going to snip these 2, okay? And then you have another twisted pair right there, and we're going to snip those. Okay, these are your transmission controller plugs. You need to remove it anyway, so you can move that plug back there. Pull these wires out right here. I don't know if you can, you probably can't see some of this. I need my knife. Pull this tape back. Okay. Now, all right, get your pencil and your paper ready, okay? So first, we're gonna pull these back like this, cut them, strip them, because we gotta tie in our butt connectors for that. And I use heat shrinked butt connectors for this. Okay, there's our 3 for that. All right, come on, you devil. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and strip these back because these are our CAN connections. This is our CAN connections from our new transmission controller, which is white, black, white, red. Okay, so then you have up here a white, black, and a white, red. So let's walk you through everything, and we'll connect them together, and I'm gonna get the camera in here where you can see every connection that I make and what it looks like. Okay, let's get you a close-up. Okay, here, I know it looks scary. Don't be scared, okay? Let's walk through it together, okay? Look here. These are the two from the transmission controller. It goes to one connector, no biggie. Ground, power, easy to remember. Black's ground, power is yellow. Look, same from the transmission controller, easy. Those two hook together. This goes to your battery. Then the next 4 is right here. Now this is where it can get confusing, so write this down. Look here. Okay, the white to black don't go to the white to black. It actually goes to the white to the blue, and the white to the red goes to white to black. This is can high and can low. So don't pay attention just because the wires are all jacked up and you think, well, this don't match. That's just how this works. That's how you have to hook it up. That's what we got to do. So we're going to hook all that up, and then I'm going to run my power lead out to the firewall a little bit later, and then we're going to put this center console and stuff back in, and it's going to look sweet. So we will be back here in a few minutes once we get that done. Guys, let's recap. Easy, easy, okay? Not hard, okay? Still got to run a red, okay? Don't worry about the transmission controllers, just flip them on back. I'm gonna leave this plate off because I'm gonna mount my OBD2 port. I'm gonna zip tie it to these wires behind this and probably mount it something, I don't know, I may zip tie it up too where I can just pop that off and boom, there it is. Okay, so yellow with yellow. Yellow with your new harness, yellow to your old harness. This black to black. Black to, from your new harness, which is ground. And I wish that was a little bit better. I don't really like seeing those, but that's okay. Black with black. Okay, now here's the complicated part. The can wires. Your new can wires, which has the purple end on it, is white with black stripe, white with red stripe. The white with the black stripe does not go with the white and black stripe. The white with the black stripe to the new harness goes with the white with the blue stripe on the old harness. White with red goes with white with black. So it's counterintuitive there. So there's that. It's done. I'm gonna tape it up, put you on time lapse, finish this up.
Okay, so we got the 8-speed put in. Again, time lapse, I can't do nothing about these lines on the time lapse. The shop puts out so much light now. I just can't. It's just how it is. It focuses. So now we're moving the Jeep. I bent the airbox. Got the forks into the airbox right here. We are going to install the new wheels, and we're also going to kind of mess with the transmission bolts and stuff like that up under it. But boy, ain't it nice having a forklift where you can kind of do this in your shop. I know a lot of you guys are going to do this at home. But where I own a shop, it's hard to do some of this stuff, all the time. I can't just leave my Jeep on the rack all the time till it's done. So we're pulling Tommy's wheels back off, which we really appreciate Tommy for letting us borrow those. Those are powder coated, I think, fuel wheels, and they are for sale. They've got 35s on them. If you want those wheels, they've got pretty well new tires. One of the tires is busted, but that's one of 5, so it would just be your spare. Here's a really good shot, too, with the long arm, and we're talking about trimming this out. Unfortunately, with 40s, or really anything with 35s even, they can rub these little corner pieces that we're going to trim out. We're going to improve this later because we're probably going to end up Raptor lining or Monster linering this whole Jeep at some point. So this will all be redone anyway, but we're going to clean these up. I done it 2 different ways. This side I just cut flush off. The other side I notched. Probably the notching way would be better, but it is what it is. So enjoy the time lapse and enjoy us putting on these new wheels.
Hello, friends. As you can tell, we got some new wheels and 40-inch tires. See, you was making fun of me the other day with the green wheels, and I told you, hold on a minute. Just wait a minute.
Now the green wheels look good on the General.
Yes, but not on an Anvil Jeep. So, let me tighten these up and get the fronts on. And you can see what we got, and then I've got to put these black rhinos come with a protective ring. So when you're riding, it'll protect that rim. And you just replace that because, as you know and I know, unless you're a mall crawler, you never get bull ember big. Tommy, are them big or what?
Those are monstrous, my friend. I told you we're building a Hemi, not a Jeep.
Golly,
Look
that
at the
offset's great.
Look at the stance on that thing.
The offset is perfect.
You'll have to pick your girls up and throw them up in there.
Guys, offset. Let me explain that a minute, because a lot of people don't understand offset. And with wheels on Jeeps, I mean, it'll apply to anything, but Jeeps, if you want a wider stance, you need a negative offset. So these are negative 34. That means that the hub, the centric hub, will be negative 34 millimeters in from, I think, stock. So positive offset means that it sits out, which pushes your wheel in. So you want your wheels and tires to be pushed out as most. I think the most a Jeep sells anywhere is negative 38. Mm-hmm. These are negative 34. It's the only thing I could get in these wheels. Let's mount this one up. Yeah. We'll just let you watch me put these front 2 on. Another word of advice when it comes to wheels and tires. My encouragement to you guys is do not use balancing beads. Find somebody locally that knows what they're doing and use weights. Balancing beads will never be right. We've experienced it. Now you can argue with me all you want to, but Granny always said the proof's in the pudding. And I've never had a wheel on these that would balance right with beads. I don't care what you say, you can put them in you can put them and put the factory weight in there, I'm telling you, it don't work. Not like this will. So that's my experience with it. You can say, well, I've had a different experience. I've never had a good experience with beads. So I got a guy that does weights. So anyway, that's my thought on that. I guess it's okay to disagree with me, but I ain't never had no good luck that way. Tommy, you ain't either, have you?
No, those 37s that I had was put in with bag beads and they just didn't work. But 65 miles an hour, you had a vibration.
Yep. Actually, we thought I put a suspension kit on one. And boy, it was terrible when we got it done. I actually thought it was something that I had done. Because I put ball joints. I thought something was wrong with the ball joints.
Yeah. They work good in semi-tires, dump truck tires.
Well, what do you think? There's two.
It's a beast.
Ah,
Let's get everyone to see the whole side of it.
let's set it down just a little bit.
Oh my.
That'd be what about where it sits.
Oh my.
Oh my. Oh.
Oh my, dude.
Hey, is that not a Hemi?
That is a Hemi.
I think it'll go down some still once we get the back tires on. It'll have to. Good grief. Yeah, surely that'll go on down.
Yeah, it will. A little bit.
Golly.
You want to show them what you done in your back fenders?
Yeah, yeah. So I trimmed these out. I'm gonna still tack them up with a welder where them pinch welds are. I'm gonna just do some spot welds, grind it down, and put some black paint on it. I got this side pretty well done other than the welding. I'm gonna jack it up, put the rings on the front real quick, and then I'm gonna do these. So, all right, folks. This is the end of the video. I know it's kind of like abrupt. Okay, Miles, you did this. Let me just take you through briefly and try to show you what I have done real quick, where we're at, where we're gonna be. Okay, so some of this stuff is pretty well plain, okay? Heater hoses, I ran them, had the factory clamps. I've still got to put one on back there. I run out of clamps. I did mount this. Look at how I scratched that with the forks. I ordered this coupler. I ordered my throttle body. I ordered my filter. Figuring out power steering situation. Ugh. That's how I feel about it. Is don't like it. Dipstick tube is mounted. Easy. I just put a bolt right there. I thought that was a better location. Everything looks like crap right now, I know, but it's just, you know, it's a work in progress. I went ahead and removed, so I can put my manual valve in for the Rubicon disconnect. Let me show you the shifter inside. That looks really good, does it not? It looks very factory. So, come on, door. I should have hooked you back up. Okay, wheels and tires, they are on, and that's how it's gonna sit. It's about a 4-inch lift, I think. I've got those cut out and painted. I've got up under here, let's see if I can get you up. I've got the transmission mounted. Gonna probably have to take some of that back loose because I have to still mount. I got to put the transfer case back on, and that will require just a little bit of work there. We'll put that on the lift for all that. I put the battery in just, you know, just to see how it fit. That's really not how they go. They go the other way, but I like that way, I think, better for a single battery. So we'll see. I still got to remount my switch panel back up. And then also I did this. I mounted the cold case. Okay, so I know that's not recommended, guys, but I bought this cold case cheap, and things are just really tight in there, okay? And I've never had any bad luck with this. I know people say it wears them in two with vibration. I've not had that luck. Not saying that I won't. But that's mounted very tight. I mean, very tight. These truck water pumps are way out here. I don't know what the solution is. A car water pump? I don't know. If you all know, let me know. But this sits way out here, and so therefore that hits your factory fan. Now what I'm gonna do is probably run it to my switchboard instead of run it to an automatic setup. So things are coming together. I try to do a little each day, but this video is already probably 30 something minutes long, so I'm gonna snip it, end it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully this has been educational to you. I'm trying to give you all information. Oh yeah, and I hooked my fuel cable up here, or fuel hose, but it will, we'll talk more about that later once we get it hooked up to the actual fuel tank. But this is what we got right now. And so if you got any questions, like, well, I don't really see how that went, you can hit me up and I will do my best to show you guys what's going on. So that's the end of this video. We will see you guys next time. Like, share, comment, hit the notification bell, and we'll have episode 3 out probably next week, hopefully with some parts coming in. We'll see you guys next time.